It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Labor Day weekend has come and went, believe it or not, and it's time for another weekly cup of coffee from Slumberland at the lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And Chris, we're going to have a cup up next with Jason Howe.
Yep.
Canines on the Front Line. Cool organization with a cool upcoming event, plus some local headlines. Of course, football season in full swing.
That's right. I spent a lot of time last weekend watching football.
Which sounds lovely. We got a pretty cool contest right here at Slumberland. We want you to get entered and have a chance to win, plus some great upcoming events, that and a whole lot more. But first, this from Slumberland at the lake.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Labor Day weekend might be over, but the Labor Day sale still goes on here at Slumberland. Take advantage of great deals, awesome financing. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. That's right, deals for every room of the house. So come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, and a lot of you guys know that we here at Lake TV, we love our four-legged furry friends. Of course, you know furry friends we do each week. And so now I'm excited to have a cup with my buddy Jason Howe with Canines on the Front Line. And Jason, people out there may be wondering, Canines on the Front Line, I've heard that, but what exactly is Canines on the Front Line and how long you guys been around?
Well, first off, thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, man.
So we've been around since 2016, originated in Maine. I went to the program in 2017 after my own life struggles with addiction, reintegration with PTSD. And unfortunately, Father's Day, I had to put my service dog down, so now we're kind of transitioning. But 2018, we started it here in Missouri. We started a chapter. And I say we because it was with my service dog, and you know, we're a battle buddy. But we've been going on since 2018 in Missouri. And last year, I actually took over the entire headquarters. So Missouri is now the headquarters for Canines on the Front Line, and Maine is still now a chapter. So
very cool. So when you say the mission or Canines on the Front Line, what is it that you guys, set out to do, and what is it that you guys want to fulfill that you guys have kind of see the need for?
So we have a lot of rescue dogs out there that need homes. We have a lot of veterans and now first responders that are struggling with, their trauma. So why not pair a rescue dog with a first responder or a veteran to help save two lives at the same time?
Very cool. And I know for you guys, you see not only on the PTSD and the trauma side and the need for those companions, but you also see some stories like that when it comes to the four-legged friends. One, for instance, Benny, I know a recent rescue. Kind of give us some background on your friend that you brought with you here at Slumberland today.
Yes, so we were reached out by an organization in Illinois that they had a couple dogs that had been rescued from a federal raid, dog fighting ring. And I immediately said, yes, let's take it. So we went to Illinois last week, kind of did an evaluation, and Betty was very skittish with me. Obviously with the situation that he was living in with men, he's very timid. I've only had him for 5 or 6 days, and you can see him looking around right now, but
Sure.
5 or 6 days, he has warmed up to me. He snuggles right up next to me, and he just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And wants to be heard and understood. A lot of us veterans and first responders, we see a lot of things we don't like and don't want to ever, see again. The dog's the same way. We're able to vocalize it. The dogs can't. So why not try to help dogs, veterans, and first responders all at the same time?
So a story like Benny, for instance, with the full circle plan, will he be placed somewhere where you see a need, or will he stay with you as kind of your companion?
So he will be placed with me.
Okay, cool.
They showed us a bunch of different dogs, and he kept popping out to me, and I said, I'm not letting this dog go. And I think he realized it too. Once we got him, I kept feeding him hot dogs and stuff like that, and just kind of warming him up, and he hasn't left my side, and it's kind of making me happy again. So
super cool. Okay, so Canines on the Front Line over the last year or so. Of course, we get to see Benny, but tell us some of the work you guys have done and maybe some of the placement or some of the companions that you guys have seen some success with.
Yeah, so a lot of our veterans, we even opened it up to military sexual trauma. So we have a lot of females that maybe they didn't do combat, but they've been, sexually traumatic events going on in the military. So we've opened it up a lot to that too. And what we've seen is, the first couple of weeks of class, they're very shy, don't want to talk. Nobody wants to talk, and they're nervous, and they think they can't handle the 30-week program. Then all of a sudden, things start happening. The dogs start sitting. We do it in a group setting at our facility in Jeff City and Fort Leonard Wood. And you start seeing the aha moments coming, because now the dog's sitting and they're walking and they're going out. For example, a lot of people don't like to open up the curtains. They don't want to get out in public, but now they have their dog that has to get outside.
Sure.
And we've found that a lot of veterans don't really want to talk about their issues, but to talk about their dog and what the dog is doing to them. So it helps open them up. 6 years, 8 years ago, you never would have saw me sitting here. I would have been the same way, hiding behind the curtain, not being out in public, and now here I am on your show.
Sure.
In our annual fundraiser in March, we have 750 people, and I'm up on the stage. So the dogs really open the doors for us to be able to talk and say, hey, here's what the dog does for us, and this is what we love. So.
Sure. So real quick, you mentioned the 30-week program. Is that through Canines on the Front Line and
Yes,
kind of
it
a
is.
proven program? Just touch on that real quick.
Yeah, so it's at no cost to the veteran or first responder. So everything is done through donations and sponsors. So the veterans pay nothing for the program. We teach them everything they need to know, all the way from sit, clipping the nails, how to groom them. Biggest thing for a service dog is their tasks. So depending on the veteran, what they need. So like Benny will be taught to watch my back in public. So he'll sit beside me and watch me back. So if somebody's coming up to me, he's gonna let me know, hey, somebody's behind you. So I don't get freaked out. Or if I'm having a night terror, to get underneath my head, prop me up and say, hey, you're okay. Kind of bring me back to the now. So it's really cool to see what these dogs are doing for the veterans and first responders and help them change their lives.
Sure. So, hey, maybe you're out there and you're like, hey, that's me, or maybe you know someone, or hey, maybe you're like me and you just want to get involved because you love the heart behind this organization. Ozarks, Canines on the Front Line. Now, Jason, you guys have a big event coming up. It's the Murder Mystery Event Dinner on October 10th and 11th at the Exchange venue. I think that's probably a great opportunity to come out, get familiar with your organization, talk with you, and I understand still tickets available for that?
Yes, we'll still have tickets available. It's going to be a 1920s Gatsby theme. We have a lot of really good fun actors that they're ready to have a good night, find out who murdered who, and learn more about our program. It's supposed to be a fun event, kid-friendly too. As long as the kids can understand that it's a dinner.
Yeah.
But just really networking what our program is doing to help change lives for veterans and first responders, but also have a good night with the crowd, the community.
Sure.
We did an event a couple of years ago right here at the lake at the Encore. It was a very huge success. So we're trying to bring in more events here at the lake. And
Well, I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. We'll look forward to kind of sharing more of the mission. Don't miss the Canines on the Front Line Murder Mystery Event Dinner, October 10th and 11th. Jason,
scary good time.
it should be, and thanks for bringing Benny. We'll look forward to telling you more. We'll be right back with the rest of this week's Cup of Coffee.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
That's cool, all right. Canines on the Front Line. First time gotten to meet Jason and see what they're doing and something really cool. And we got to see, Benny, who's a rescue from that federal fight ring, crazy. But the work that they're doing and watching the progression will be interesting to see. And that event coming up, that sounds like right up our alley. Murder Mystery Dinner.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, heck, you going to take the life?
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
October 10th and 11th. Looking forward to that. All right, so let's dive right into our local headlines. You remember last week we talked about the city of Camdenton.
Yeah.
And what was going on with the city with Mayor McNabb and Lake Aviation with Corey Lewerke, and there had been some allegations about retaliation. And so we had said we'd love to meet with the mayor and the city and give them an opportunity to field some of these concerns and questions. And we did hear from Mayor McNabb, who has invited us in Friday. So we'll go in and talk with them and ask some questions, and we'll have more following that meeting next week on Cup of Coffee, and I'm looking forward to sitting down with them and asking some questions. It'll be City Administrator Jeff Hooker, Assistant City Administrator Renee Kingston, along with, Mayor John McNabb. So will be interesting. I have heard from numerous aldermen since then. I've talked with State Rep Vernetti, talked with Sheriff Edgar, the Camden County Commission, and so it is definitely something that has interest of people around the community, and they're interested to see, like, how does the city of Camdenton respond from here, right? Because it's clear there is something going on, and we need to figure out how they can move forward.
Yeah, and this is not a small thing. I mean, the airport is a huge part of Camdenton, and it's a huge part of the future of the city and the region. So, what's going on now is going to have long-form ramifications.
Sure.
However this turns out, it's going to last for a while. And so I was fascinated that there were so many people, powerful people that didn't know what was going on, that is like, really? Oh, well, this is interesting, that are, kind of looking into what's going on now. So that's going to be an interesting meeting Friday when we go see the mayor and his folks and see what their take on all of this is.
Sure, it's always good to hear both sides. Of course, we've kind of witnessed what we believe to be the timeline of events, and so it will be interesting, and we'll keep you guys posted following that. There had been some tragic headlines over the weekend. One major injury, and a teen drowns at the Lake of the Ozarks public beach. Just heartbreaking. The first one, a pontoon hits a swimmer on the Big Niangua.
Yeah, a woman from Omaha flown to the hospital. This was Saturday after being struck by a boat here at the lake. According to the Highway Patrol, a 22-year-old man, driving the boat. He is also from Omaha. He was driving a 23 Landau pontoon, 6-mile marker of the Big Niangua. He reportedly put the boat in reverse instead of neutral. Okay, now, first of all, if you've got anybody in the water around your boat, the boat should be off, should not be running. You got a propeller that's the motor's running, that could hurt somebody. So the motor was running. He meant to put it into neutral, apparently put it into reverse, and he ran over this lady, 33-year-old woman swimming in the water. This was at 2:52 in the afternoon. The woman sustaining serious injuries. MU Air Care transported her to University Hospital in Columbia. So this was serious. This propeller ran over this girl, or this boat ran over her in some way, and it is not good. And then you mentioned the young man drowning, man from Illinois. He drowned Saturday night here at the lake, according to the Highway Patrol. 19-year-old from Glenwood, Illinois, went into the water by unknown means, whatever that means. He jumped in by boat.
I think it means they don't know whether he fell, whether he wandered, whether he, walked in, like, unknown means. They don't really know how he got into the water at 11:16 at Public Beach 2 and did not resurface. Heartbreaking. The Camden County Medical Examiner pronounced the teen's death at 1:50 a.m. and transported to Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes. And that's the 4th drowning in August for Troop F. And I hate these stories, but they're imperative that we get out, because it just reiterates how important it is to drive safe, boat safe, and when you're around the water, like, keep your head on a swivel, because stuff like this happens. And the drowning is heartbreaking, but the one that is wild, because it could happen to anyone, right? If you're in the water and the boat gets, that one was wild. When you think about propellers hitting somebody in the water and causing injury, we've heard of that before, but that's just like crazy.
Oh, yeah, and it doesn't even really have to be the propeller. I mean, the propeller is very dangerous, very nasty, but those tunes are in the water, and if a pontoon is coming at you and one of those tunes hit you, you're in serious trouble, man. Or a boat of any sort. It's as great as the lake is, it's a recreational lake. It's meant for fun, have a great time, but it's also dangerous. You got to be very careful with this stuff.
No doubt about it. And so a lot of people I see, people are like, man, the lake's dangerous. You had the brain-eating amoeba and stuff, and it's like, well, this could happen anywhere. It's just crazy to see. It is the 4th drowning in August for Troop F.
That seems like a lot, doesn't it? 4 in August. Pretty sad. But again, be safe out there.
All right, so hey, local public safety urges don't wait. Call 911. Lake Area Emergency Services would like to remind everybody, call 911 immediately. It's not embarrassing. It's proactive.
Yeah, and one of the more interesting things, and I can relate to this, I mean, there have been times when, somebody went missing, and what do? You're kind of freaking out. Well, maybe I'm overreacting. And what they're saying, what 911 is saying is, it's not overreacting to call right away if there's a missing person. If you find them right away, great, call us back, let us know they've been found. But call is because those first few minutes, seconds are crucial in finding missing people. Too many times, according to EMS, there are significant delays in 911 activation, which plays a vital role in getting first responders valuable resources to get to the scene. And it just makes sense. So, if your kids go missing or somebody or loved goes missing, they're urging everybody, call 911 right away.
And what prompted this is we talked about the drownings and stuff, and from the local public safety, this says the lake area has experienced at least 6 pediatric drownings or near drownings in the summer of 2025.
Wow.
We would like to remind everyone that early 911 response greatly increases survivability. And so they came out and said, like you said, be proactive. And when it comes to a potential missing child, like call 911 immediately, write down the last known location, write down a physical description and have a recent photo, know your loved one's medical history. There's a whole list you see there on screen. But what prompted this Joint Public Safety Act and message was the crazy summer that we've seen. And I think it's great that they're stepping up and trying to educate people because something's got to give, right?
Yeah, and again, we're here at the lake. This is supposed to be fun, great. You got kids, let them go out and play and have fun and swim and stuff. But they do say, know where your kids are at all times. Again, you've got, water out there that can be very dangerous in the wrong situation. Know where your kids are at all times, enforcing rules such as the use of life jackets whenever you're near the water, keeping access points to swimming pools locked at all times, and encouraging adults to enforce these rules, which is so very important. I mean, like you said, we've had some tragedies here, and so they're stepping up and saying, hey, let's step back for a second and think about safety.
Sure. All right, so we told you guys that football season was in full swing.
Yep.
And for our lake area teams, it was a pretty good start as both Eldon and Osage got their season started off with a win. And anticipation and expectation is fairly high in Osage this year.
Very high. They had a good year last year. They were ranked in the top 10, had a strong team, and they were up in Class 4A. They just had like 2 or 3 more students that put them over the limit for 3. This year, they've dropped back down into Class 3, which means, their playoffs will be against a little smaller schools than last year, and they're good. They're really good this year. I'm not saying they can win state, but I'm saying they could be a Final Four team this year. Osage, the Indians, in Class 3. And coming up in 2 weeks on Lake TV, we might have a preview of a state championship game, Osage and Blair Oaks. Blair Oaks is the defending state champion. They've won multiple state championships the last few years. Osage might give them a run for their money this year.
They got Moberly Friday in their home opener. They'll take that 1-0 record into that one. And Eldon, who started 1-0 with a 15-14 win over Fulton, they're going to be at Versailles on Friday. And Eldon, they would got a great chance to start 2-0, and they're going to have Owensville in week 3. There's a good chance when we see them week 4 with Eldon Osage that Eldon could be 3-0, and depending on what happens with Osage in that Blair Oaks game, who knows, but good stuff. And as far as your Camdenton Lakers, they fell in the opener against Jeff City, and kind of a shocker as far as I was concerned. Anyway, 17-7 was the final, and we're going to have Camdenton back on Lake TV Friday night when Branson comes to town. And then next week, Camdenton's going to be at Smith Cotton, so it doesn't get any easier. And then college, you're a big college guy.
Yeah.
How'd Nebraska start?
Actually, shockingly enough, they won their first game. Nebraska, we've been so bad since Tom Osborne retired. It's been 30 years, baby. So I'm hoping for a little bit of success this year, but I'm not betting on it. But we did win our first game against Cincinnati. I was impressed with Mizzou. That first game, they blew them out. And that's not a bad program they beat. That's a pretty good program. So that was a big win for Mizzou with a lot of new players.
Well, Bo Pribula, I mean, is the guy, right? It's unfortunate what happened with Sam Horn.
Yeah.
But this guy was at Penn State, I believe, was a starter before he lost his job to Drew Aller. Like he came in, he looked pretty sharp, right?
Sure did.
So they've got themselves a quarterback, and their defense looks all right. We'll find out more this Saturday when they play. They rekindle the border war at Faroe Field when KU comes to town. We're sending have fun, Jessica Bruce and crew. She's a big Jayhawk fan. I think she's going to the game.
She's a Kansas
girl.
But
Mizzou should be able to start 2-0, and then kind of that early conference schedule, once they get past those first early slouch games, minus KU, like they got a fairly favorable conference schedule this year. They dodged some of the big dogs.
Any SEC schedule is tough. But yeah, when you can dodge some of the bigger schools, Georgia, Alabama, LSU's, teams like that, you're good. But I wouldn't look past this Kansas game, because Kansas, they come in undefeated. They've got a great coach who's turned that program around. I think that's going to be a tough game. I do think Mizzou will win it, but I think it's going to be a good game.
Since you're talking about KU real fast, why don't Jayhawks wear shorts?
I don't even know what you're talking about,
Just
man.
kidding. I'm not going to finish that joke because I'm a changed man, okay? So it'll be fun. Speaking of football, NFL kicks off Thursday night. Unbelievable. We're ready for the Buffalo Bills to win a Super Bowl. That's clearly going to happen this season.
Well, let's hope so.
And for those of you who may not be as delirious as Wild Will and are thinking, hey, if he's really picking the Bills every week, I wish I could go head-to-head against him and Uncle Chris in a pick'em league. Guess what? You can. We're excited to announce our Best Seat in the House contest with our friends right here at Slumberland at the lake, okay? You're going to check our website or check us out on Facebook, but every single week through Fantasy Nerds, you're able to submit picks, and it's absolutely free. First, you got to create an account with Fantasy Nerds. Again, that link will be on our Facebook page, on our website. You create your account, and then your password to get into that custom league, Slumberland. And then every single week, you're going to pick just the winners. There's no point spreads. There's no confidence points. It's just pick your winners, right? And whoever has the best results each week, you're going to have a prize, a $25 gift card to Tucker Shuckers. You pick it up right here at Slumberland at the lake, so you can check out their incredible recliner selection. And the overall grand prize winner for the season is going to win a pair of recliners to right here. And they're not just any recliners, they're Lazy Boy recliners valued at $1,080 each. So over $2,000 value for our grand prize winner. So you better hurry and get in for week one so you don't give all the rest of us that week one advantage.
That's right.
Again, Fantasy Nerds, free account, get signed up, and then you'll see that link to go join our contest. Looking real forward to that. And I'm thinking that you got a chance to be up there in the money this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, usually I do really well, and then I decide to let somebody win in the end. Like, I think a couple years ago, I let Sierra win, and the year before that, I let Andy win. So
Kevin won a couple of years ago,
I'm
too.
generous that way,
Kevin Hornick won a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Too, right? So really cool. Kevin's in. The whole Lake TV crew is in. All of the kitchens are in. Our buddy Jace Nicholas, Nick Reese, already signed up. And so we'll look forward to seeing those people continue. And even if you don't get in by Thursday, like that's 1 point, right? We're probably going to get the Thursday game wrong anyway. So make sure to get in, especially by Friday's game. What are the Chiefs doing playing on Friday?
And it's pretty easy, really. I mean, I've already signed up, and if I can sign it and create an account, you can do it. Just do it through your email and stuff like that. All you need to do is know the password.
Which
really
is Slumberland.
So yeah, I mean, it's easy peasy, just do it. But the thing is, I mean, you might win, you might not win, I mean, the odds are we're not going to win, but it's fun. That's the key, is have fun with this, make picks, see how you're doing, play against us every week.
And how about Joe Ray and Daryl Cunningham and the Slumberland crew throwing $2,000 of furniture towards our winner?
That's incredible.
Awesome. All right, so real quick, we got 3 upcoming events I want to run through. First, it's the Ozarks Cat and Canine Annual Fundraiser. It's their 3rd annual Cause for Paws on Saturday, September 20th. From 4 to 8 at the Lake Breeze Event Center in Camdenton. Join them for a fun-filled evening and help raise money for the animals of Ozarks Cat and Canine. Wristbands are just $25 in advance or $30 at the door. It's a really cool event. You're going to want to check that out. And if you bring 10 pounds or more of dog or cat food, you get an extra ticket to the prize drawings, which they got some really cool stuff. Big shout out to Mark and the Ozarks Cat and Canine crew. We love what they do, and you can check out our furry friends every single week where we feature a different pet for adoption at the Ozarks Cat and Canine Shelter with that smoking hot host.
Yeah.
Unique.
What's her name? Unique Holtz. And we love those people over there. I mean, they are so important for the local dogs and cats and animals and taking care of them and helping that whole situation. A very good, great event here.
And if you don't attend that, like, go by, volunteer, walk the dogs, or hey, really, go drop off some dog food and cat food, because there's an unbelievable need across the country, especially with our local shelters. So that's one event. Hey, how about the next weekend? Suits for Soldiers. Attention, Lake of the Ozarks. It's something truly special right here in our community. The Suits for Soldiers at Lake of the Ozarks is back.
Yeah, well, they do this every year. So it's Saturday, September 27th. Annual event to honor and support our military and the veterans. So at this event, every active duty service member and veteran is invited to come pick out at no cost professional attire, including suits, shirts, ties, and women's dress wear. It's all about dignity, confidence, and setting up our heroes for success in civilian life. I mean, they have put their lives on the line for us. We know that freedom is not free, all right?
Right.
People have given their lives so that we can be free, or parts of their body or their mental health. And so things like this, Suits for Soldiers, is to try to give back to these heroes and help them out in life after military service.
Sure. Hey, and so if you're not a veteran or you don't know someone, here's where you come in. Volunteers are needed to help set up, sort, and assist veterans during this event. And if you are active military or veteran, they'd love to see you there. It's at the Elks Lodge in Osage Beach. Join them for opening ceremony on the 27th at 8:45 a.m., followed by the event from 9 to 2. Hey, and registration's simple. Go to suitsforsoldierslakeoftheozarks.com to sign up. Such a cool event.
Yeah, love it. Every year, great cause.
All right, here's something cool. Don't know if you saw on Facebook. There's
I
a
did.
skydiving company, Skydive LOZ, Lake of the Ozarks, really, really cool. And we were with our buddy George Peter, who jumped out of an airplane into the Cool Breeze Marine parking lot last week. Okay, so his wife, Dorothy, she says, hey, everybody, I am turning 30 years old. Or sorry, in 30 days, I'm turning 51 years old. That Dorothy
She looks
will love.
30, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she wants to do something big. Since George jumped out, she goes, okay, I will do it, but under one condition. I want to raise money for my two favorite charities, Official Wonderland Camp and Kids Harbor. She said if I can raise $2,000 for each of them before her birthday, she is going to jump. So she needs your help to raise money for Wonderland Camp and Kids Harbor. Lake TV is going to start it off. We're going to give $100 to each of those organizations in Dorothy's name for her birthday. So we need you guys to get behind her so we can watch her jump on her birthday coming up on September 28th when she turns 51. You're right. She does not look 51.
She does not look, she looks more like 30. And she's so skinny, it might take her a couple hours to actually come down because she'll fall like a feather, you know. She's in pretty good shape, I think.
She is indeed, and a big shout out to our friends at Cool Breeze Marine. As we conclude this week's show, before we tell you what's on tap, I will share just one quick scripture. Mary Pat Brooks always reminding me to slow down, so instead of cramming all in, we'll just share Luke chapter 12, verses 22 through 25. Then Jesus said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you to him than the birds? Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? Love that from the book of Luke. All right, so as we look at all that's on Lake TV, we told you high school football. We got the coaches show, Parr and Shannon with you every single week. But I believe you've got somebody pretty important on this week's Spotlight show.
Yeah, we've got the mayor from Lake Ozark, David Ridgely, also the owner of Osage River Popcorn. So,
get your popcorn ready.
Mayor Ridgely on the Community Spotlight show this week, and we kind of talk about politics, why he got into politics, if he enjoys it, what's going on in Lake Ozark. So be sure to tune that in.
Yeah, and some great LOZ featured doc series
Yeah.
coming for the second half of this season. Plus, Ray Lee, Kirby Leesman, some great guests coming up on Spotlight. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee. Until next week, my friends, thanks for watching.